So let's take a break about talking the AMC Universal Cineworld, whatever war you want to call it, and let's talk about movie theaters that are actually reopening, and some that will be opening very, very soon. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your failed journalist, and yeah, let's just get into this one. But if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so and ring that bell. We appreciate that quite a bit. So anyway, Texas, Georgia, there are a few states that are actually reopening, and they have basically told movie theaters that that hey, you can reopen now as early as Monday. This includes Regal, Alamo, Cinemark, all that stuff. Now, most of the major chains have no plans to open until July, because that's when Tenet is coming out. Also, they kind of want to take a wait and see approach to see if this reopening thing actually works out. It just wastes a lot of money if you open up the theaters again, only to have to reclose them later on. Again, the whole, if you saw my MIBA video earlier today, bringing back staff, retraining them, all that jazz. However, Santikos is going to reopen at least 3 movie theaters with $5 tickets and popcorn this Saturday, and there might even be an alternative way to go to the movies for those who are in states that, well, they are still under lockdown. So, here's the story. Santikos Entertainment plans to reopen 3 of its 9 movie theaters in the San Antonio area on Saturday, according to representatives from the company. Tim Handren, Santikos Entertainment CEO, said the San Antonio-based cinema chain will open the Palladium, Casablanca, and Cibolo, I think that I pronounced that correctly, locations this weekend. He added that the decision was ultimately left up to his staff members who he previously furloughed when the theaters closed on March 16th due to the C virus pandemic. Quote, "We reached out and asked if they feel comfortable and safe returning to work, and it was a pretty resounding yes, but had they said no, we would not be opening." So thank the concession stand people that they want to go back to work. The announcement also comes after Governor Greg Abbott issued his new executive order on Monday, allowing retail stores, restaurants, movie theaters, and malls to reopen Friday with an occupancy limit of no more than 25% of their capacity. Handren said around 15 people will be allowed in each theater, adding that it depends on the size of every auditorium. Santikos will block out some aisles and seats to comply with social distancing requirements, as well as only allow 2 guests to be seated next to each other at this time, and I'm assuming those people have to come together. There will also be 3 showtimes daily, so not exactly a full day of movies, if you will. Employees will be provided with masks and gloves, Handren said. Guests are encouraged to wear face coverings, but are not required. I think the required part will definitely, well, be in play when we open on a more national scale. As for tickets, all can be bought online or at a kiosk that will be cleaned after every use. A single cash line will be at each location, in which the company will provide gift cards in exchange for the cash. All movie tickets, popcorns, and drinks will cost $5 for now. Basically, hey, we're giving everyone a discount, so come in. So actually, that kind of makes sense, because, okay, now you go, 2 people. All right, 2 people, and you want popcorn and you want a drink. Well, guess what? That's $20 for a night on the town. Considering one of the things that people have been talking about on why the Trolls World Tour thing is going to change the economics, which it's not, trust me, folks. But they say, like, it costs people, two people, like $60 to go to a movie with popcorn and drinks. Like, well, now it costs $20. That's a cheap date. So, granted, it's not going to be that way forever, but, this is obviously what they're going to do to, like, try to incentivize people. And who knows, they might want to have deals like this for, like, classic movies in the near future. I don't know. Anyway, quote, "We are not doing this for economic reasons," Handren said. "In fact, we won't be making money, but we will be putting people back to work, and we will be providing a place where people can get away from this C virus crappy reality we live in right now." Also, you want to, like, ease people back into it. So when it's time for all the other theaters to start opening, who knows? People might trust your theater a little bit more. I'm just saying. So then, and they're not the only ones, because Evo Entertainment plans to reopen its locations in Schertz and Kyle on Monday, according to the Austin-based company's website. Venues in San Marcos, New Braunfels, and Fredericksburg will remain temporarily closed. Evo said it will only allow 24 people in each theater. Specific seats and aisles will be blocked out to enforce the social distancing spacing of 6 feet apart. Also, no more than 5 guests allowed in a single group, so they're being a little bit more flexible on that. The company also implemented a new C virus plan to ensure the safety of its guests and customers. Upon entry, staff and guests will have their temperatures taken and will be asked questions related to C virus symptoms, Evo's website said. Temperatures of 100 degrees or higher will not be allowed into the facility, and unlike Santikos, Evos is requiring that face coverings will be required with guests, and guests without a mask will be provided a disposable one, and that the same thing will go with the staff members. So anyway, this is one of the theaters that will be reopening, and I believe this is also one of the theaters that will be reopening. However, a lot of these theaters will still be closed. Nevertheless, it's slowly coming back. Now then, what if you live in an area where stay-at-home orders have not been lifted and you want to go out and see a movie? Well, that's the thing. There's been a lot of discussion about drive-in movies, theaters doing very, very well, and now drive-in movies will be popping up around places. According to this ABC Arizona news report, while movie theaters and other attractions remain closed because of the C virus pandemic, people are able to go outside and hike or ride their bike as long as they practice safe social distancing from other people. The same apparently goes for drive-in movies, which have popped up across the valley in recent weeks. Fairmount, Scottsdale, Princess, Chef Farms, EM Properties, and a group of entrepreneurs have all opened pop-up drive-in in recent weeks. All are following the same social distancing guidelines. People must remain in their vehicles the entire time, unless to use the bathroom if there is one on site. People are not allowed to hang outside their vehicle, and vehicles will be more than 6 feet apart from each other. Here's a look at each pop-up and what they're offering. So, they have a list of pop-ups here, and we'll have a link in case, but like, we have one in the West Wind Glendale, we have Digital Drive-In, we have Fairmont, Scottsdale, Princess, the Drive-In at the Chef Farms, and yeah, so Moonlight Movie Nights, yeah, so there you go. Drive-in theaters, and I'm going to say, drive-in theaters have kind of been like a godsend. I have never gone to a drive-in theater before this pandemic, but once all the theaters were closed and I realized that the Mission Tiki drive-in theater in Chino was open, oh yeah, me and my wife went there. We went to see Invisible Man, and then the next time we did like the double feature of Trolls World Tour, because I was not supporting that digital release, and Sonic the Hedgehog, which I'd actually seen in theaters a couple times already, but what the heck, I wasn't in a hurry to go back home. Now, when we went to Trolls World Tour, I have to say, looking around, I could totally see that people were going to ruin this for everyone. There were signs that were out that clearly said, stay in your vehicles and keep your vehicles 6 feet apart. Not only were people not, looking at the 6 feet apart angle, but people were actually leaving their vehicles and getting chairs and stuff and mingling with one another. It's like things like this are why it's going to take forever for us to actually get back to doing anything. Otherwise, these are great alternatives as long as people don't screw them up. So anyway, movie theaters are starting to come back ever so slowly. I'm looking forward to going to the movie theaters again. But in the meantime, what about you? Do you live near any of these theaters that are going to be reopening, and are you going to go back? Or are you going to rely on the drive-in theaters? Or heck, maybe even though you're cooped up this whole time, maybe you just don't want to go back to the movie theaters at all. I would love to know what your opinion is. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.